Attack on Titan Season 4 is finally here, and it's all kicked off in some style. After a slow burn start, things have really gone up a notch in the past few episodes. But there's one thing that's been bugging me. What on earth has happened to Eren Jaeger? The badass we've seen throughout AOT looks to be going down a very different path in Season 4. And ever since that declaration of war, end of episode teaser, I've been trying to wrap my head around things, which led me to do a bit of Googling and get tons of things spoiled. Yeah, annoying. So, to avoid the same thing happening to you, I've rounded up some of the theories as to what's going on with our boy Jaeger. I'll start with just looking at what has happened in the anime, and then afterwards I'll discuss some stuff that's happened in the manga. But don't worry, you'll get a big spoiler warning beforehand. So, why has Eren changed in Attack on Titan Season 4? I think, looking back, it's clear to see it's all spiraled out of control from one crucial scene.
No! Don't do it, you monster! Not my precious cheese hamburg steak!
Bad move there, Colossal. Bad move. But the common theory is that this is just a natural evolution for Eren's character. Let's break this down. So ever since the attack on Shiganshina, Eren's just been consumed with getting revenge. But over time, his targets have changed. At the start, it was the grinning Titan, who ate his mum in front of him, along with the colossal and armoured Titans. But as the story progressed, Eren's crosshairs moved on as well. Onto Annie, and then Berthold and Reiner, when it became clear they were behind the attack that turned Eren's world upside down. And now, after the basement reveal in Season 3, Eren's crosshairs has moved once again, this time onto Marley. It remains to be seen what exactly is the aim of the operation in Liberio. But there's one thing for certain. There has been a lot of collateral damage. And when Mikasa confronts Eren about this, he doesn't show any emotion at all, just having a blank look on his face when she tells him he's killed children and there's no way that he can go back from this. And some people might say, well, Eren didn't directly kill these people, but his actions did lead to these horrible consequences, and from the looks of it, he doesn't seem to care that much, which is pretty chilling. Maybe having learned that Marley and oppression is what's behind everything that's been painful in its life, and no longer having a clearly defined enemy to fight, Eren is willing to cross this line. But I still can't help thinking that something has changed within Eren, and I believe we will at some point, maybe towards the end of Attack on Titan as it closes in on its endgame, find this out. In the meantime, I went back to watch some old Season 3 episodes to see everything that led up to this moment. And going back, I noticed that beginning with the basement reveal, Eren's demeanour started to change. And this was most clearly seen when the Survey Corps reached the ocean. While everyone else is splashing around the ocean, frolicking like some very subdued version of MTV Spring Break, Eren is just blankly staring across at the sea, and that's when he drops the bomb. As Eren tells Mikasa, Armin, and the rest of the gang, if we kill all our enemies over there, will we finally be free? Maybe since then, Eren's felt the path he was on would lead him to doing some unspeakable acts, and he's had this to mull over and stew on for the past few years that the time skip has taken place. But I still find this a tough pill to swallow. In any form of media, whether it's films, books, TV shows, violence against children is such a taboo subject, such a horrible red line. Just think about like your average Hollywood blockbuster, your popcorn fare film like the classic Schwarzenegger movie Commando. The bad guy, the moment you know the bad guy has crossed the line is when he threatens violence against children, when he kidnaps little Alicia Milano, puts a knife to her throat towards the end of Commando, and you're like, oh no, now you've done it. And then when he finally gets his just desserts, and Arnie sent into his fiery doom, it's like, yes, in your face. You had that coming, didn't you? But even that bad guy, he never goes through with the threat of this violence. Eren has gone through with this, and from what we've seen so far, he doesn't seem to have any emotional response to this. And that seems to be at odds with the Eren that I've seen throughout the past 3 seasons of Attack on Titan, or at least the Eren I thought I knew from the past 3 seasons of AOT. So, now it's time to get on to some manga spoilers. If you want to skip past this to my concluding thoughts, then fast forward to the timestamp shown on the screen. For manga readers, we're probably going to go up to about chapter 124 or 125, which is as far as I've read. So, you still here? No turning back now? Okay, so if you're up to date on the manga, you'll know that you get a bit more context to what's going on with Eren right now. And you'll know that the moment that everything changed for him was when he kissed Historia's hand, back towards the end of season 3 in the anime. And we know that Eren now has access to past memories from previous Attack Titan holders, as well as also being able to see into future memories. So it seems that Eren's seen something in the future which has led him onto this path. That is another theory. And I feel there is going to be one more big twist coming up, which will clearly show why Eren is willing to carry out such unspeakable evil acts. We've already seen Eren tell Zeke that he hasn't got to the point where Eren eats Grisha, and that doesn't seem like a meaningless, off-the-cuff remark. Grisha himself was telling Zeke to stop Eren. So, if he was thinking that after killing the Rice family, why did he let Eren eat him anyway? Maybe Grisha, as an Attack Titan holder, will be shown something by Eren that's in the future, which convinces him to go along with Eren's plan. What that is, I do not know, to be honest. I'm guessing it could be a future where Eldians are free. But how will that be achieved? Will it be with the rumbling genocide plan? Or could the good old time travel fan theory come back into play by the end? We'll have to wait and see. But going back to season 3, I was struck by another Attack Titan holder who did unspeakable acts. I'm talking about Eren Kruger, aka the Owl. Kruger admitted to subjecting thousands of Eldians to horrific acts, but he did this because, as he said, he thought he was saving Eldia. We know that Kruger has already got a glimpse into the future, whether he realised that or not, due to the famous Mikasa and Armin line. So maybe he's seen something else too from the future, even if it's just a glimpse of it, something that has pushed him on. to do these horrible things to his fellow Eldians. And maybe that's what Eren has seen too, and will show to Grisha. Ultimately, thinking about Eren's change in Attack on Titan Season 4, I can't help but think about Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad. Spoiler warnings for both these series, so don't continue watching if you ain't seen the end of either. But both GOT and Breaking Bad have very different approaches to the character turn. With Danny in Season 8, many fans felt it came out of the blue, with hints and foreshadowing the biggest supporting evidence to explain Daenerys' heel turn. In Breaking Bad, Vince Gilligan and co. deliberately spent 5 seasons slowly building up Walter White's change. Gilligan famously said that with Breaking Bad, his aim was to turn Mr. Chips into Scarface, and he went about doing this in a very methodical way, using Chekhov's gun as his motto and making sure there wasn't a single centimetre of fat in his storytelling. Everything was there for a reason. But even with that very deliberate and methodical storytelling, throughout Breaking Bad's run, I constantly saw fans making excuses for Walter White. I did too. I mean, even when he did reprehensible things that no normal person would do, we, the viewers, regularly made excuses for him, acting like Skylar was being unreasonable when she kept pushing back against Walter's plans, but by the end of it, she was the voice of reason. I mean, maybe one reason we always were on Walter White's side is because Breaking Bad was always told from his point of view. So even if Attack on Titan had spent a lot longer preparing fans for Eren's fall from grace, maybe we still would have had trouble dealing with it and accepting it. What has happened instead is they've ripped the band-aid off very quickly, and we're faced with the stark reality of who Eren is now, and are under no illusions that he is no longer a heroic figure. And central to all of this, I would say, has been those first few episodes that we spent with Gabby, Falco, and the gang. The beginning of Attack on Titan Season 4 sans Eren, Mikasa, Levi, et al. Was very confusing and disorientating, but seeing things from their point of view was crucial. It got us to empathise with them before Eren's attack, and sympathise with them in a way that we might not have done if we hadn't gotten to know them beforehand. Maybe, better than anything else, this type of storytelling is helping to bring home what's emerging as a key message behind the final stretch of Attack on Titan, which is central to Eren's character development as well. That war is hell, fascism kills, demonizing and othering people never ends well, and circumstances can change anyone, which are messages that shouldn't really need repeating, but in the day and age we live now, are worth ramming home.